using drones on Julian Assange. I mean, she wanted to drone him.
Yeah, well, I mean, by the way,
She might have been joking.
I'm not defending either of these creeps. They're creepy to me. Both of them give me the fucking heebie-jeebies, man. But like,
Not Julian Assange. You're talking about Trump and Hillary, right?
No, I'm talking about that monster Julian fucking Assange.
He gives you the creeps?
No, I'm kidding. No, that would be the worst thing. Oh, I love him.
Ambassador, it's an amazing thing when you stand back and think that the president-elect, it appears to be signing against all the U.S. intelligence agencies and every senior member of his own party in favor of Russia and in concert with Julian Assange. What's your reaction on this?
Well, I'm not sure he's made any kind of a judgment about exactly what to go with, and I don't see it as signing up with Assange, for example. I think he's been skeptical for some time of the intelligence community, and he's said some fairly tough things. But, you know, they're going to have to get used to working for a new boss. He's the one who won the election.
But Tuesday night, he tweeted that the intelligence briefing on Russian hacking, he put insult quotes around intelligence and Russian hacking, had been delayed until Friday, positing perhaps more time needed to build a case. Very strange. Later Tuesday night, CNN reported there had been no hacking review scheduled that day for Trump by the CIA director nor the director of national intelligence. NBC reported there was one, but it had always been scheduled for Friday. Independent reporter Mark Ambinder reported there was a scheduled briefing that was delayed from last week because of the family emergency of one of the intelligence officials, that the White House would get that briefing Wednesday, congressional leaders Thursday, and Trump Friday, and it was identical to what Trump would have heard last week. Trump has said nothing except to again attack other Americans and to again pretend he knows everything, and Wednesday morning to, incredibly, to take sides with Julian Assange, who is an enemy to this country and an enemy to democracy everywhere, and at best a de facto Russian agent.
General Clapper, I just have to mention the name Mr. Assange has popped up. And I believe that he is the one who's responsible for publishing names of individuals that work for us that put their lives in direct danger. Is that correct?
Yes, he has.
And do you think that there's any credibility we should attach to this individual, given his record of
Not in my view.
I thought the interview was ridiculous because they skirted the bottom line. Do you know if the Russians were involved? Again, not where did you get the information? Ridiculous interview.
Why isn't that contained in his answer of saying, I got it from a DNC source, or I got it from somebody else, not the Russians?
A couple reasons. I think the primary reason is if the answer is he's aware of Russian involvement, why would he want to say that? That taints his whole operation. I think in general what he wants to do is to portray WikiLeaks as unbiased in terms of where it receives information and not a paid party receiving stuff from Russian security services. So I think there's an effort to protect WikiLeaks from a pedophile who lives in the Ecuadorian embassy in London. This guy is not credible.
Wow. Julian Assange is talking to Sean Hannity, and he said in the interview, quote, let me read this so we get this right. People want to know the true information about what government is doing, and WikiLeaks gives them this information, but they don't like it. Is that true? Is America conditioned to believe the talking heads on TV versus somebody like Julian Assange, who so far has been batting 1,000?
Oh, of course. I mean, that's something that we have a problem we have endemic to the United States. I mean, the ironic thing is that was the case years ago when people like Sean Hannity wanted Julian Assange arrested.
Yeah. My big fear 10 years ago, which you and I discussed the last time you were on my radio show, when I wanted you arrested, I said, because I felt you would release potential information that would result in methods and people potentially dying, because there is so much in terms of covert operations, people working undercover. You purposely choose not to publish that information, correct?
Well, yes. If you're talking about Afghanistan, there were 15,000 documents that we didn't release in the...
Because you thought people's lives would be in jeopardy immediately?
No, but we thought that there was a reasonable possibility, so that we wanted to study the issue further. So we didn't think that people's lives would definitely be in jeopardy, but we weren't sure, so we wanted to hold things back till we understood it.
I mean, he's prevailed. He has survived through these tumultuous kind of, glacial melts and re-emergence. Where you have Sean Hannity, one of the people who wanted him shanghaied and brought back here and tried, is talking to him and saying, look, tell us what's going on. But yeah, it's true. I mean, I think you saw that with the Phil Mudd thing with CNN. I mean, you have, he's a, quote, commentator, unquote. And we have commentator or pundit-driven news right now, in addition to gossip-driven news. And nobody is out actually digging up the facts. And whether you like WikiLeaks or hate them, they are actually doing a form of news gathering that other people are not doing.
Hold it now.
The hysterical reaction makes one wonder if this is not an example of killing the messenger for the bad news. Despite what is claimed, information so far released, though classified, has caused no known harm to any individual, but it has caused plenty of embarrassment to our government. The truth gained from the Pentagon Papers revealed that lies were told about the Gulf of Tonkin attack. Just as with the Vietnam War, the Iraq War was based on lies. We were never threatened by weapons of mass destruction or Al-Qaeda in Iraq, though the attack on Iraq was based on this false information. Do the American people deserve to know the truth regarding the ongoing war in Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Yemen? Why is the hostility mostly directed at Assange, the publisher, and not our government's failure to protect classified information, which has resulted in the greatest number of deaths? Lying us into war, or WikiLeaks revelations, or the release of the Pentagon Papers?
The reaction we should all be having should not be like, I don't know, anger at Russia. The reaction we should be having is anger at our political class. It should be, and that was Assange's idea, right? That's his idea, is like, if we expose, he wrote this essay, I read an article about it, if we expose the inner workings of our political class, and we show that the level of deceitfulness that is involved in this game of chess, which now people are just saying, well, that's just the way it works. That's how it works in the modern world. You've got to be cutthroat, and you've got to lie, and you've got to trick, and you've got to do all this shit. If we expose them, then what that hopefully is supposed to do is make them reform on their own, or create what he called the idea is you want it to be very expensive to lie. You want to, and also he's created a situation where all of them are living in a terrible world of paranoia, which I think is kind of hilarious, because like Assange has done to Hillary Clinton what the NSA has done to all of us. Like he has all this fucking data, and she doesn't know which data he has. She doesn't know what he's got. A lot of politicians have no idea what WikiLeaks has. I know.
Pull that up.
You do this anytime we talk about him.
Pull up Julian Assange dancing. No, there's nothing wrong with him. Nothing wrong with this. It's just you have to, when you see someone dance like this, you have to always think, oh yeah, that guy dances like this.
Dances like a goth. He's a goth.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with dancing like that. There's nothing wrong with dancing like that.